Welcome to day three of our daily Bible devotions. Today, as I continue my reflections on science, allow me to share with you a crucial moment in my life before. So, today's gonna be a little bit of storytelling. This happened when I was in fourth year high school. That would be grade 10. I was 15, turning 16 during that time. And during that time, I was enjoying my studies because I love learning. But most of the time, I wasn't spending my time inside the classroom. And I became a little bit of a stranger to my classmates because I spend most of my class hours either in the library or in the faculty room or somewhere else because when I was in fourth year, there were lots of school competitions, and that was like my last chance. And most of the teachers, they would like to send those who are graduating students to these competitions like their last chance. And at the same time, uh, we have gathered as someone who have spent more than 3 years in high school. I have gathered enough experience to join in inter-school competition. So I was being prepared to join in this science fair, 3 day science fair. I was assigned to compete for the science quiz B, specifically for physics. But I was the only contestant in science quiz B during that time by our school, and my physics teacher focused heavily on physics, even though I also reviewed a little bit of biology and chemistry. So there goes the science fair. It went okay during the first day, but it was a little bit stale. And during that time, because I was a stranger to my classmates, I was a little bit of a loner. So before the second day, the night before that, I I had this thought. I've been observing my classmates, and they looked happy. And I think it's in a wrong way because most of them are happy because of being in relationships, and to be in a relationship at such a young age, high school, I just didn't think it was right. But I got curious. Curiosity is a good attitude of scientists, right? So I got curious. I was thinking I didn't want to be in a relationship like them because I know it would end up in heartaches, heartbreaks. I didn't want that. But I'm curious. I was curious, what was it that led them to make those decisions? What did they feel? They looked happy. I know they'd cry in the end, but they looked happy. Why? I didn't understand. I couldn't fathom what they were doing. I love observing my classmates. They were like my sort of guinea pigs. I hope no one from them will watch this video. But I love observing them. I love reading their minds. I love predicting what they will do next based on what they're saying, based on their behavior. So that's one thing. Those love and relationship thing, that's something that I could not explain. So one night I was hesitant to pray because I wasn't really believing in God anymore. I wasn't going to church. I not sure there is a God because I can't even see God. So why would I believe? Why would I pray? But there was this thought. I was just at the end of the line. I couldn't understand it anymore. I just said this prayer: God, if you're even real, do you think you can make me experience that, what they're experiencing? I just threw that before I slept. I was looking at the ceiling, looking up, and then I fell asleep. The next day, I went to the science fair, second day, and it's as normal. It's becoming uninteresting already, but okay, it's a science fair. It's out of the school, so yeah, I have to enjoy. I get to see new people. And then turns out that there was one of us there in our vehicle towards the other school. There was someone there who'd been with us since the first day, but I did not notice her. I only noticed her on the second day. And I didn't know why, but I noticed her because she asked for a favor from me. And when she came up to me, asked for a favor, I didn't know. I didn't know what happened. What I experienced, I still could not explain fully up until now. Maybe it sounds cheesy, but maybe I would say that what I experienced was magical. Okay, to cut the long story short, I believe I fell in love that day. But what is love? I went home. I was filled with this excitement, this happiness. I had so much energy. I didn't know where it was coming from. It's like I was overflowing with energy. There's a tree in our backyard. It felt like if I punched that tree, it would explode. I was overwhelmed with emotions and feelings. I was so happy, but I couldn't understand why. I just saw this girl. I just met her, and what's the big deal with that? What what is that? And I kept on asking that question because I was tempted to think, this must be love. What is love? I'm trying to approach it scientifically. What is love? How do I determine whether it's love or not? If it's something that ends up with what my classmates had, then it's probably not love, because if love is what I know, then it should last long, right? If it doesn't last long, then it's not love. So there are all those thoughts in my head, and I couldn't comprehend them. I couldn't structure them. I couldn't organize them. I didn't know what to do. I was just filled with emotion experience. And for the next months, I kept on thinking, pondering with that emotion. At the same time, while I was feeling that, I acted based on that emotion. So just if you're wondering, okay, I did not court that girl. She did not become my girlfriend. But my journey in understanding that thing that I felt was very crucial to who I am right now. Eventually, I understood what love is, but that was just the beginning of journey. And my understanding of love coincided with what happened the night before I met that girl. The night before, remember, I threw something like a prayer. I didn't know if that was a prayer because it was just a thought. Okay, God, if you're real. Then I felt that. Then I went back to that. Okay, this happened after this. Okay, it could have been a fallacy. Yeah, it's dangerous to always assume that just because you said something, you prayed something, and then it happened, that this thing caused this. Okay, it's a fallacy. But what if? I was just thinking, was there a relevance? Then I made experiments of my own, so to speak. I kept on throwing those prayers, those thoughts, and I checked if there would be a response. Long story short, uh, my journey in discovering if there is a God coincided with my journey of discovering what love is. And those things, even though I applied in my own way the scientific method, it's not exactly scientific. And the answers, I started from science, but it led me somewhere else. Science has its limits. I love science. Given a chance, if you'll ask me if I'm going to go to the university again, I'm gonna enroll in physics again. I'm gonna study physics again. I want to be a scientist. I still want to be a scientist. I'm gonna go back there, but I know its limits. And the limits of science does not make science weak. It makes science powerful. We already talked about that. It's like picking a surgeon's knife over a butcher's knife. Okay, the latter is more powerful, but the first one is more precise. It can save lives. It can't just destroy, it can save lives. Science is like that. It's so narrow, it's so precise, but it has its limits, and its limits make it powerful. And the boundaries of love, it's something that's outside the scope of science. There are many other things that would help you in your walk in life. You would want to discover them. You would want to know the answers to them. And it's okay. Go explore science. But I'm telling you, as someone who went there, you will find its limits. When you get there, when you get to the end of the line for science, don't stop there. Explore. Explore. And I'm telling you right now, my faith has so much to offer in that. We'll keep on talking more about that.